anchor babies. He wasn't talking about people who are here on student visas, people who are here on H-1B visas.
You're always going to choose this weird exception.
No,
the fact is the system is being gamed. Americans voted for Donald Trump because they saw these systems, these institutions being gamed. The asylum issue, the birthright citizen issue, Title IX issues. Every single part of society was being gamed by the left. And finally, Americans got pushed too far. The point is, you don't have to like everything in the restaurant to like the restaurant. There are things, I go to a restaurant, I don't eat any seafood, but I like that restaurant because it's got steak. There are things that Trump will do that...
Drama erupts on Fox News as Jessica Tarlov and Greg Gutfeld face off in a fiery showdown that stuns viewers. In a live segment packed with tension, the two clashed hard over red-hot topics like immigration, diversity pushes, and Trump's policies. It quickly turned into one of the most intense back-and-forths we've seen in a while. You won't believe how fast this face-off escalated, with emotions boiling over and bold takes flying across the table. Stick around as we unpack this explosive clash and what it says about today's political battleground.
They're crazy on the left.
Speaking of, Jessica, we'll go to you next. What is your favorite, if you had to pick one, executive order?
My favorite as a Democrat or my favorite as an American?
I don't see why you should differentiate.
Well, because there's some partisanship going on in all of this. And
so
there are points to be made.
Some partisanship is un-American?
I think to some degree, of course. I think that there is some consensus to be had in this. And, you know, like the back to work policy that will penalize some people that I think have legitimate reason to need to work from home, and hopefully they'll be able to make their case, whether that's taking care of a loved one, they maybe have moved during the pandemic and are still doing their job effectively. But I think it's a good thing that people are in their office. I think that makes sense.
It's a good thing.
I think some of the DEI programs went too far, and everyone has accepted that in the public and the private sector, right? You have a huge surge of roles in companies, large and small, after the murder of George Floyd, and a lot of them have just quietly gotten rid of them even before it was clear that Donald Trump was going to win again. So I think that we can talk about things like that. But you can even talk about the EV mandate. All of the automakers who share the same aspirations and goals as former President Biden have said we're not going to make our targets. So obviously we need to reassess that to some degree. But when the judge says, this is what the people voted for, some of it they absolutely did not. And Donald Trump promised that he would bring your costs down right away. And he revoked Biden's policy to lower prescription drug prices, or to make it so Medicare can't negotiate itself for prescription drug prices. That's not cool.
Where is that? Where is that?
It's look in the list.
Well, show me.
Well, what do you mean?
There's a lot more to that issue, but
yeah.
The American people on November 5th vote for 1,660 Afghans who are being resettled here, have gone through the government process, people who helped us during the war in Afghanistan, which is translators, risking their lives, people who are on target lists for the Taliban. They had their flights canceled.
The answer is yes, they did vote for it.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
If you sat there.
Yes, they did.
No, they
Sorry,
didn't.
Trump did not hide any of this from anyone.
That's not true.
And that's the difference.
You guys sat here and you argued that the Afghanistan withdrawal was one of the worst atrocities in foreign policy, that we left people behind, not only American service members and Americans who are still living, the American service members who passed away tragically and the ones who are still living, but the people that helped us for years during that war. And now you say, it's fine that their flights are just canceled?
No, I didn't say it's fine. I'm saying that Americans voted for it. That's the difference. I don't have to say it's fine. I'm just telling you the reality.
Did you vote to revoke birthright citizenship for the children of people who are here legally?
Do you understand what that means?
Yeah, I do.
Tell me about it. Tell me what birthright citizenship meant.
Well, I think when Donald Trump was talking about it and disparaging people over here, he was talking about undocumented people who come and drop their anchor babies. He wasn't talking about people who are here on student visas, people who are here on H-1B visas.
You're always going to choose this weird exception.
No,
the fact is the system is being gamed. Americans voted for Donald Trump because they saw these systems, these institutions being gamed.
Immigration took the spotlight in the fiery showdown between Jessica Tarlov and Greg Gutfeld, as both delivered bold, clashing views. Gutfeld slammed birthright citizenship and asylum loopholes, claiming they're being abused and that this frustration helped fuel Trump's rise. He described broken systems hijacked by political correctness instead of fairness. Tarlov fired back, pointing to real-life cases like Afghan translators and refugees who risked it all for U.S. forces. Her take called for an immigration strategy that balances compassion with real-world limits. Things got hotter when Trump's executive orders came up. Gutfeld praised Trump's leadership, highlighting border security wins and cutting back overreach. But Tarlov pushed back, citing rollbacks of Biden-era drug cost reforms, saying not every Trump policy helped everyday Americans. Then came the culture clash, gender identity debates, remote work battles, and Gutfeld's takedown of woke culture and media bias. Musk's name even dropped, as Gutfeld pointed to his attacks on media narratives. It was a clash of visions, revealing just how deep America's political divide runs.
Here on H-1B visas.
You're always going to choose this weird exception.
No,
the fact is, the
it's
system
not
is
weird.
being gamed. Americans voted for Donald Trump because they saw these systems, these institutions being gamed. The asylum issue, the birthright citizen issue, Title IX issues. Every single part of society was being gamed by the left. And finally, Americans got pushed too far. The point is, you don't have to like everything in the restaurant to like the restaurant. There are things, I go to a restaurant, I don't eat any seafood, but I like that restaurant because it's got steak. There are things that Trump will do that I will disagree with, but the entire package is as close as you're going to get to what Americans want. Trump is redefining basically what a human being can do in 24 hours. It's incredible. He did more in a day than Biden did in his damn. He had 3 balls last night. That's 3 more than Adam Kinzinger. The guy hasn't slept in 2 days. I mean, the thing is, it's amazing. It's possible. It is possible. Donald Trump could complete his presidency in 3 months. Right. And then he could just say, you know what?
Is that a promise?
I'm going to host. He goes, you know what? JD, you take it from here. I think I did everything I could do. It's incredible. And by the way, you brought up, and you said it was a good thing, you know, the fact that like these people have to go back to work, but then you mentioned all these challenges they had. Well, welcome to America. Every single one of us has a challenge, but yet we come to work. I'm not going to pay for their porn addiction. If they want to sit home in front of Pornhub and go, I have chronic fatigue syndrome, you know what? Everybody in America could stay home because they have a sick loved one or a baby, but they aren't. They're coming to work. They should go. I'm glad that he got rid of the appointees. I need work around the house. I pay well.
Greg's hiring.
But I'm not done. Okay. I'm not done. I got to bring up the Nazi hoax thing because we all know this is BS. And yet the media is redefining losing every single day.
He's talking about the Elon Musk situation.
Day one, they say Elon Musk made a Nazi salute.
Right.
And I'm beginning to think, they know they're lying. So why are they doing this? Because they realize they cannot rebuild their credibility. They're like a fat guy on death row. What's the point in dieting? You're already dead.
The on-air clash between Jessica Tarlov and Greg Gutfeld was raw, intense, and a full-blown snapshot of America's deep political divide. Tarlov, repping progressive values, went head-to-head with Gutfeld, who stood firm in his fierce defense of Trump and his hard-hitting takes on today's culture wars. The debate quickly turned explosive, sarcasm flew, interruptions piled up, and emotions ran wild. Tarlov tried to bring nuance, backing her points with sharp examples and clear logic. But Gutfeld wasn't having it. He came out swinging with his usual firebrand energy, doubling down and throwing verbal punches with his signature wit. What we got wasn't just a debate, it was an uncensored, high-voltage collision of two Americas battling over truth, power, and the future of the country.
Looking forward to that last meal. Dana Perino, your thoughts?
I just add a couple things. So one of the things President Trump was doing was not creating new policy. He was getting rid of policies that Biden had put in place that people said they didn't want. And the ending DEI was 70%, so they supported that. Ending the EV mandates, that was 70%. Finishing the border wall and deportation, 70%. Now, they might not have gotten there without Joe Biden's broken border policy. That might have been a lower number, but that's where they were on Election Day. Getting men out of women's sports, that was like an 80-20 issue, maybe even more. And so it wasn't so much that there was like, oh, here's a brand new policy. It was like, here's all these things that you said, America, you did not like for the last 4 years, and how I'm going to be able to make it better.
All right. Like Greg said, you don't have to like everything on the restaurant menu. You just have to like a few things, and you'll patronize the place day after day.
I will not spend my.
Greg Gutfeld didn't hold back. In a fiery exchange that lit up the Fox News panel, he broke down how hot-button cultural issues like gender identity, illegal immigration, and the rise of woke politics are pushing more Black and Hispanic Americans toward Trump. According to Gutfeld, this shift isn't just about taxes or jobs anymore. It's about culture. It's about everyday Americans feeling like the values they grew up with are being replaced by something unrecognizable. He argued that Trump's biggest strength is his direct, no-nonsense message. No political jargon. No elite buzzwords. Just straight talk that people can actually understand and relate to. That clarity, Gutfeld said, is what cuts through the noise and connects with working-class voters across the board, especially those tired of being lectured to by political elites and legacy media. Tarlov wasn't having it. She pushed back hard, calling Gutfeld's view overly simplistic and emotionally charged. She argued that the real world isn't black and white, and these cultural shifts are part of an evolving, more inclusive society. From her view, America can't move forward by clinging to old norms. It has to grow, even if that means discomfort or change. The debate exploded into a clash of identities, with Gutfeld painting conservatives as protectors of tradition and stability, while Tarlov positioned progressives as champions of social evolution and equity. Both sides used strong language, personal stories, and emotional appeals. It felt less like a debate and more like a political showdown, each side rallying their tribe, with no interest in finding middle ground. And that's the real story here. As identity politics takes center stage in America, it's no longer about left versus right. It's about worldviews clashing head-on. What do you think? Is this just passionate debate, or a sign of something deeper tearing the country apart? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more fire breakdowns. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next. Drama erupts on Fox News as Jessica Tarlov and Greg Gutfeld face off in a fiery showdown that stuns viewers. In a live segment packed with tension, the two clashed hard over red-hot topics like immigration, diversity pushes, and Trump's policies. It quickly turned into one of the most intense back-and-forths we've seen in a while. You won't believe how fast this face-off escalated, with